Hey guys, I got top 4 at Nats with Tellarknights. This is my deck profile. But first, before I start, shout out Snavi on Twitter for this. They got loads of nice artworks. This one's about clowns. I didn't play clowns, but honestly, I made a lot of my opponents felt like clowns. But we move. So here's what I played. So I played Tellarknights for the event. I played it because I thought of a breaker format, and I thought, well, this deck FTKs. So if I either FTK or make a good board in a breaker format where hand traps are not going to be the standard, I thought if I go first, realistically, with dice rolls, there's really no reason why I should lose mostly, except if my opponent draws Ogre Veiler. But yeah, it worked out pretty well. I did lose most of my dice rolls though. I think I only won out of 17 rounds 5 dice rolls, so I did go second for most of the time to the deck. That did perform really well, but let's just get into it. So for the best starter in the deck, well, one of the best 2 starters in the deck, it's Caster. This guy is basically Resil Ice. He summons from deck at Constellar, and then that's just full combo right there. He also turns a Constellar Exceeds to a Spell Negate, which is huge in this format with stuff like Fall on the Virtuous, Lightning Storm, etc. It's really, really strong. And then basically what you summon with him, usually it's going to be the Signian. So Signian is the best monster summon out of him because he is technically Constellar, which searches you any of your Tellar or Constellar. So this is the best bridge possible into the both sub-archetypes. And then usually what you do is you really do want to play him, well, you do really want to open these with Bliran. This is probably the best 2-card, well, honestly, all of these are probably the best 2-card starters because basically you insulate yourself from Ash for a little bit, and then you get the chain block on the new chain between these two. So he searches a spell, and then when you normal summon a Tellar or Constellar, he triggers in hand, which means it's really good for chain blocking. So it's really good against Doom Z, for example, with their Xyz that only responds to effects on the field or in the grave. So it's really good to play around it like that. And basically you get to add one of your 2 spells, which are really, really strong. Basically from here I play 2 Caduceus. So I only play 2 of this guy because honestly, I mean, each effect is once per turn. If I open both of these, it's not the best thing, and you can't you have to have another, you can't normal summon this and special summon because he has to control another one, except you can't, just his own effect. He searches for one of the Constellar spells, or traps, but you don't play any traps. He's also really cool because he's got this little effect. It doesn't come up too often, but it can banish, if it battles a monster, if it's under a Constellar Xyz and it battles a monster, a light or dark, it banishes it before damage calc, which is really good for outing bigger beat 6 or something like that. And it's also really good because people don't realize it, so they try to out a big guy and you just use this effect and that's it. They lose their monster. And now for the Tellars. So I play a lot of 1-of Tellars because while they are really good, you really don't want to open them because they don't get you far alone. You got 1 Anukulai, 1 Altair, 1 Deneb, 1 Alteran, and 1 Vega. I mean, these are some of the, except for this guy, these are all classics: the Foolish, the Revive, the Search, and the Summon from Hand. This is really good. I used to play 2, but then I realized it was a bit too bricky. He special summons himself from the grave if you special summon the Tellar or Constellar, and then he is a pop. So it's really good if you put him in tandem with other Xyzes, like Tall Mayas, where you cook effect Xyz on your opponent's turn. It basically converts it into a lot of interruptions. You can pop 2, 3, or 4, and there's really good combos with this guy in Galteros, the older one. Because it basically means you can pop some of their opponent's cards without them being able to respond. So that's pretty much it for the main deck monsters. Onto the spells that you play. So 1 Rhoda, 2 Bindings, 2 Skybridge. I play 3 7th Tachyons and 2 of the Continuous Spell. So to start off, I mean, Rhoda is self-explanatory. Searches most of your deck are warriors. Liran is a warrior, so you put this with Caster, you're golden. This is really good. I was considering playing 3, but I didn't like how bricky it felt because it is a hard once per turn. So this has 2 effects. It can either negate or summon from deck. It discards 1 for effect and summons from deck, which is really strong because it is a really good starter. It does play into Full House though, which I didn't like. And it is a brick, so if you open multiple and it gets ashed, the other cards are dead in your hand. Although when you're going second and you don't need to summon from deck, this can come up really well because it can negate cards you have to controls, so it's pretty good. Then you got 2 Skybridges. I wanted to cut this down to 1, but realistically I thought this is really good in tandems with other cards. So like if for example, I need to dodge a Veiler or an Imperm or something, this is really good for one of my Tellarknights. Specifically, I can't use this on Constellars, but a lot of the main deck ones are treated as Tellarknights as well. So it does come up a lot. I do want to open this. I just don't want to always see it. I don't mind searching it because people aren't maining Droll, and usually if you main Droll, if I get Drolled, Oftentimes, it's fine. I can usually get around with it because I can send cards from deck to grave and add them back from grave to hand. 7th Tachyon is just a consistency piece. It's just an easy way to search your cards. It's great. I usually side this out going second, though, because you don't want to have to go -1 or you're going second, or get drolled, for example. This is really good. I used to play 3 of this all the time, but then I realized that the problem with this card is it is only good if you open 2 other level 4s. It doesn't do anything on its own otherwise, and it's highly searchable. So I want to play 2, one for follow-up, and the other one in case I'm trying to put on Bell, for example. So I can activate this on activation. This is bellable. So if they bell it, you can just activate a second one, and then you can just keep playing it with ease. But yeah, 2 I think is the right ratio. I'm thinking to play 3. So that's it for the spells. Then it's just basically all hand traps, honestly. So there's like 3 Ash, the Call By, 2 Ogres, 3 Veilers, 3 Purge, 3 Imperm. Pretty self-explanatory. I would have liked to play Sparks if I had it, so I played Veiler instead. I would switch out for Sparks because Veiler didn't... It had its applications, but especially against stuff like Cool Tune where it does nothing. It doesn't do anything enough. I prefer to play Sparks if I had it. These are all really good. I think I might bump Ogre to 3 currently. I mean, we'll see with Chaos Origins how it changes the format, but it's really good. I mean, these are all really good cards. Pairing these 2 together is really strong. This is really good because you also get to interact against like every deck right now. Like Cool Tune, you can hit their Sync or any one of their Searchers. Same thing with Doom Z. It's all very good. You can't call by this, which is nice. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty much pretty self-explanatory. So that's it for the hand traps, and that's it for the main deck. Now for the extra deck, so this is where I've noticed most people veer off. I play 1 Delteros. He's really good, really strong. He's really good going second. If you establish this early, the opponent will genuinely have to deal with this card as soon as possible. You can just start dismantling their entire board without them being able to respond because of his own effect. And the thing is, Signian, one of the main decks, he can be substituted as 3 materials, which is really strong, because that means the 2 level 4s with him is Delteros, and then with current setup, you can easily block your opponent out from responding if you just keep using your quick effects and trigger effects on summon. So you basically get to chain block your opponent out of responding. I've added super poly sets because they wouldn't super poly you when you have 2 level 4s, because they see you add the spell and if they read it, they know you can keep playing. So then you basically just make Delteros, and then you just swarm the field a little bit with quick effects, and you use Alteran, for example, to pop your opponent's spells and traps. You can just pop the super poly out of the way. Then you got one of the best Xyzes in the deck. You play 2. It's Tellarknight FTK. This guy's really strong. He's recursion. He is really good because he bypasses a lot of hand traps. You can't Ash him, for example, because he has an effect that copies. It doesn't actually include the effect to do whatever Ash negates. He's really good. You get to copy a lot of your once per turn effects that are broken, like Caster, like Liran, like Signian. It's really strong, and it also sets up your Grave and Banished for Omega, the big towers guy. It's really strong. You play 2, that way you can always add 1 back with the other, so you just never get outgrinded. You play with the 1M7. He's just really he did so he does come up against Cool Tune sometimes if they just end with back-to-back, so you can Xyz under Cool Tune. You can use his effect, which is pretty good, and then you can use this guy to just try and like out push your opponent. Like you can out the back-to-back that way, or you can just make a big Zeus play. And with your continuous spell, you can go back into rank 4s because he's a rank 6. So it does come up. You got play 1 Diamond. He's one of the OGs. He's really strong into decks like Branded or Orcus, where they use a lot of dark monsters, and B, need to send from deck to grave a lot, because he's a floodgate for that. You can't send cards while as material from deck to grave, and every time they try to add from grave to hand, it gets banished instead. So I guess Branded, that's really strong. And he negates dark spell once per turn by detaching 1. So if you make 1 with 5 materials against Branded, if they don't open Super Poly, then they're really just struggling, especially because Fallen the Virtuous probably won't be enough because of Caster being on the field somewhere, so, well, as material somewhere, so it's really strong. Then you play the 2 Tall Miases. So this card is pretty good. It detaches 3 to exceed someone rank 5 except a number. Really strong. It basically means you can convert into Diamond on your opponent's turn, into Pleiades, into other rank 5s you're playing, like Durendal if you're playing that. He also has a neat effect where you turn skip. So getting 5 bodies on the field is really easy with this deck because they all swarm into one another, and then you just have to, well, rank up a bunch, and then with the continuous spell, then that's it. You just turn skip your opponent, they don't get a draw phase, they don't get a card, they don't get to play a card. So if in a breaker format where they're gonna play like Fawn the Virtuous, Poly, etc., Droplet, Crown, these cards are never going to come up because they just won't get to activate them. I have turn skip maybe in the event a total of like 11 to 10 or 11 games. So it is a real threat, I will say, and I've done it a lot of times through hand traps. I didn't do it on stream, but besides the point, I have to take my word for it. I have done it through multiple hand traps as well. It just depends on the hand sometimes. But the thing is, this guy can be done off a one-card combo like Caster, which is why it makes this so dangerous, because if you have extenders next to it, you're probably going to be turn skipping your opponent. And it's really strong. It also has the effect to attach in the end phase, so that way if you do go for the rank up play, you get more materials under there, guys. For Diamond, that's good. For Pleiades, it's good. Anyway, you play the one Zeus. It's a good card. You make a lot of exceeds. It's easy to get to slap exceeds in the main phase 2. You can just this can be used. This can be ranked up in main phase 2. This can be ranked up anytime. Like, you can just keep ranking up. And then making a 6 material Zeus with not a lot of difficulty. You play one of the new Delteros. He's really good for your combo lines. He allows you to extend a lot more. It's an extra double summon, basically. It searches and it's a double summon, and then if it's sent to grave, except from the field, it floats into something from the bash or hand, which is really strong, because you just rank up and then use over him, and then an Xyz detaches him for effect. You just get more follow-up and more extending or interruptions if you have Ultraran set up. It's really, really strong for that. You play the one Pleiades, a bounce, really good. You make him. You can either hard make him with Signian. Signian can make it that 2 level 4s, including himself, become level 5. So you can just do that. It's really strong. You play the new guy. He's also really good. I've seen people play 2 of him. I don't think you need to play 2. You could. I might try it, but to be honest, I think 1 was fine. He's really, really strong. So he's kind of like. So he's a Towers. If you have 7 names, 7 Tellarknights in the grave are banished with different names. And in this deck, considering how many names you play, it's really easy to set up. And then once you make him, really, in a lot of decks, they just don't have outs to this. He's bigger. He gets bigger than Liger. So even like, let's say, Lunalight won't be able to out this without having a way to boost Liger's attack, which they do have, but I mean, they have to get there. He also spins back cards, so he detaches and then targets monsters your opponent controls quick effect and just returns them, shuffles them back to the deck. It's really strong. And the funny thing about him is, even if they out him, you can just use Altair and revive him, and then he's back, and then he's a big beat stick again. It's really funny. You got Triver. He doesn't come up too much. You really just mostly use him for attaching from Ptolemaeus. If he does come up, he is really strong because he can remove entire boards. It's really good for that. And if he floats, he does float. If it's sent to grave with Xyz material, he does float, which is great. It doesn't come out too often, but you know, when he does, it does come in clutch. Then you got the 7 attack on search target. You play Vimana as well because he is a negate. You can make him with Signian. You can even make him with Ptolemaeus if you have 2 materials, which is not difficult. So honestly, he does come up quite a bit. I usually try and make him before going for the turn skip. That way it gives you an extra layer of protection. And the last card is Dark Teller. So this guy, I mean, I kind of was on the fence of playing him because on the one hand, I mean, he has a cool card text. On the other hand, though, he is a bit of a contradiction if you have Purge, because he does lock out of your own cards at that point, because he makes everything dark. But, I mean, if you're going first where Purge isn't a factor, he's really good because if you can land on 2 level 4, 2 Tellarknights, and you've either your continuous spell got interrupted or you've already used it, you can just rank up into any one of your big the rest of your Xyz Tellarknights. So you can make the big unaffected guy, you can make Diamond, you can make a lot of them. So it's really, really good. And this paired with Diamond, because he makes everything dark, means that Diamond just becomes like a really strong negating card. But that's about it for the extra deck. Then comes to the sides. The side deck was a bit scuffed, to be completely honest. I didn't have all the cards I needed. I didn't have crowns, for example. But I mean, for the side, I really mostly sided for going second. So we put in the 6 Charmies, the Talents, 3 Lightning Storms, 3 Droplets, 2 Drolls. So it's pretty. I mean, pretty standard. I would have liked to play crowns. I probably would have cut one of each here to play a crown each. The Molcharmies are great for going second, especially after when you lose the dice roll and you win game 2. You really need some extra cards in hand to be able to push through boards. This deck is pretty good at breaking boards because it does swarm a lot. But you do need to see the cards for that, which is why the Molcharmi's in here. Talons is just a great card. This is just helps with board breaking. A lot of times, the hardest part about playing this deck going second is dealing with board wipes. So Vac-Bristol, for example, ends with their trap. This outs it. It stops Fall on the Virtuous. It stops, it outs Fall on the Virtuous. It outs like Branded Retribution. Going second against Branded. It's really good against Cool Tune, because a lot of times the thing that scares me the most going second if I open Engine isn't really the Cool Tune stuff. It's mostly the non-engine or the omni or the counter trap. So this does bait it out. They look at your hand, they'll see it's there, and they'll probably try and play around it, which you can't do anything about that, but it does at least mean that you can try and push through a bit better through boards. Like that's what I did against Cool Tune. They set up the whole board with they set one KTS and one of the omni traps, the one they search out the visas, and then you just use this to just out one of them. At least you can push through. Droplet is really good as well. Droplet is great to negate stuff like Zalen or anything. It's just really good. And then obviously you got Droll, good card. Yeah, nothing else to say. I could be playing Durendal. I thought about it, and then if I see Droll and I got Molcharmi, it's basically an FTK. You just shuffle their entire hand, they don't draw. But I chose against it, to be honest. I thought it was too gimmicky. Cool. So that's about it for the deck profile. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the way the deck performed. It was really funny because I wasn't the only Teller player that made it to top tables as well. There was another one that made top 16. Deck is really strong. It pushes well through a lot of boards. It's pretty consistent. It's got like 415, I think, off the top of my head, 1-card starters, including 7th attack count. It's pretty good. Honestly, the main thing with the deck is as well, people don't know how it works. So when they try and interrupt you, and then the next thing you know, you're getting turn skipped, it's kind of like it is what it is. You kind of just have to accept it and just have to go next game. But thankfully, this deck is pretty consistent. So even if they interrupt you with your turn skip, if you still get it off, you have so much follow up that you usually just push for game anyways after. Yeah, that's about it.